What's good, people? It's your boy Clan, the Spurs fan. I'm here with a brand new video. Once again, I'm going live because I do not know if I'm going to be able to edit this down. But I do want to get on here and talk Spurs basketball. And a lot of people have been hitting me up. Damn, dropped my keys. A lot of people that have been hitting me up, asking me about the Anthony Davis situation and whether or not the San Antonio Spurs should pursue him. Now, I don't have anything indicating that the Spurs will try to pursue Anthony Davis, but all I'm going to do is come here and give my thoughts. Yeah, I'm with you, Cash Wilton. My answer to that is hell no. So the question, should the Spurs pursue Anthony Davis? Hell no. The stakes are too high at that point. I understand what people are trying to say. I understand that they're saying, and I understand that it's exciting every time you have a superstar on the market like that, a superstar that comes out and says, hey, I want to be traded. Now, I heard about him wanting to be traded about 6 this morning. I looked at my phone, went right back to sleep because I did not care. And then it started coming out and more people started talking about it around 8 o'clock, I think. But yeah, that's a hell no. There's many reasons why you don't want to do that. Now, when I was talking about the Bertans and Rozier situation, I gave you reasons, whether you like it or not. I gave you reasons why the Spurs offering what they offered, why it made sense. Whether it happens or not, it makes sense to me. The stakes are not that high. The stakes are pretty low in that situation. Now with this one, Anthony Davis, the stakes would be so freaking high. I mean, what you would have to give up is not good for us. We're a small market team. Anthony Davis is going to be a free agent after this year. I thought we would have learned, even with the Kawhi situation, that it's tough to hold on to a superstar. It just is. And when you're a small market, you got to, when you win these championships, it's not normal for the Spurs to win this many championships. But when you're doing it and when you're going on championship runs, you got to take the back door. You can't do what the Warriors are doing. You can't do what the Lakers are doing. You can't do what the Boston Celtics are doing, because you're not going to be able to make up for your loss like those teams can, because they're large markets. So when it comes to the San Antonio Spurs, we can't get rid of, because really, just think about this logically. It's not like with the Terry Rozier thing, I said, okay, we give up Bertans and it was 2 second-round draft picks on the line. Okay, that's not high stakes right there. I mean, when was the last time the Spurs went deep into the draft and ended up getting a Manu Ginobili or Tony Parker? You know what I mean? It's not realistic to expect us to always get a player like that. And when scouting has gotten even better over the years. So, okay, you would have to give up in this situation. You would probably have to give up DeMar DeRozan, probably Bryn Forbes, or maybe Derek White. You would have to give up first-round draft pick, maybe 2 first-round draft picks. I don't know who else. You might have to give up Bertans too. I mean, it's a lot you would have to give up. And there's no way you get out of this without giving up one of your superstars. Now, I know it's easy to sit here and say, you know what? I'm okay with getting rid of DeMar DeRozan. I'm okay with getting rid of LaMarcus Aldridge. I'm okay with that. I'm not, because Anthony Davis is a free agent after this year. And it's very likely that he's not going to want to stay in San Antonio. It's very likely that he will want to go somewhere else. And how long it takes to understand Popovich's system, I think that's making us go a step back. Now, you get rid of LaMarcus Aldridge. LaMarcus Aldridge got 2 more years on his contract. And he might sign again, but he has 2 years left on his contract. You get rid of DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan has 3 years on his contract. And not only that, he's extremely loyal. So it's pretty apparent that DeMar DeRozan isn't going to want to go anywhere. And that's very rare to get a star like DeMar DeRozan that usually don't want to leave. That's not going to want to leave his team. It's rare. It happens with, Damian Lillard. It's happened with Westbrook. But it doesn't come around very often. And don't take that lightly. Don't take loyalty lightly. I mean, lightly. That's what I'm trying to say. So when it comes to Anthony Davis, I don't know what Anthony Davis won out of this. And if he get traded to San Antonio Spurs, let's say you get rid of all those pieces. Now we're stuck trying to convince him to stay. Now with the Terry Rozier thing, I feel like you get Terry Rozier, you get Yasabelli. I mean, I told you what was offered already. So let's say that did go through. It will. If it does, it does. If it don't, it don't. I don't care. But let's just say it does go through. Yes, Terry Rozier is a free agent after this year. But at the same time, you didn't give up a superstar. You didn't give up a star. And you're trying to make a run this season. And on top of it, you also get Yasabelli. But with this Anthony Davis situation, you would have to clean house to get Anthony Davis. Now, the Pelicans, at one point, they had Anthony Davis, True Holiday, and Rajon Rondo, and Boogie Cousins. Now, I know Boogie Cousins got hurt, but for the most part, Anthony Davis with the Pelicans have done nothing. He's done nothing. That's not, totally on him. He's a superstar. He's a great player. But getting Anthony Davis, all I'm trying to say is getting Anthony Davis doesn't automatically mean you win a championship. It doesn't automatically mean you're over the edge and you're going to beat the Warriors. That's not necessarily true. How the Spurs are going to beat the Warriors, how the Spurs are going to beat other teams is depth. Straight up depth. It's not going to be the starting talent, because even if you get Anthony Davis, just say you got rid of LaMarcus Aldridge, that don't make us that much better. Just say you get Anthony Davis and you got rid of DeMar DeRozan. Well, now we got a guard problem. All season we've been talking about how we have too many guards. Well, now we're going to have a guard problem. It doesn't make any sense, really. Now, this is one of the situations where I know a lot of people felt like it didn't make sense what I was talking about when it came to the Rozier situation. But this totally don't make sense. None of it. And it's not smart to do this. You're still, if you get rid of your depth and you get rid of your guards and you get rid of DeMar DeRozan to get Anthony Davis, that doesn't give you a good position to beat the Warriors. It doesn't. And more than likely, a package will have to include Derek White. I mean, the Pelicans, if they get rid of Anthony Davis, it's not going to be for nothing. They're going to need some serious pieces. And even with those pieces that we offer, the Spurs may still not be able to get Anthony Davis. It's just not a good look. Let me see what y'all saying. They were fired with Cousins, though. They swept the Blazers. That shit was hilarious. Yep. And probably we had to beat the Warriors. They still have Cousins. There's no guarantee AD resigns with Spurs. Yeah, it's no guarantee. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. You would have to get rid of DeMar DeRozan. And it really trips me out how fans just flip on players like they do. How could you flip on DeMar DeRozan so quickly? Yes, he's had some rough patches since the Toronto game. But how are you just going to flip on him? I mean, the guy brings a lot to the team. You can't just flip on him. A lot of these games we won this season because of DeMar DeRozan. And don't take it lightly that we have a guy that's as loyal as DeMar DeRozan and that works as hard as DeMar DeRozan. And we are a small market team. Get that through your head. We're not the Lakers. We're not the Warriors. And that's fine. That's fine. All it means is we have to move smarter. That's all it means. It doesn't mean that we're trash compared to them. It doesn't mean that they're better. You can have a large market team and still be trash. But the Spurs have sustained greatness for 20 plus years, and the reason for that is because they are smart. They are very careful with what they do. They're very careful with who they draft, who they cut, who they trade. They are very careful. Any move that the Spurs make, you can guarantee it's going to be a smart one. And when we go back to the Terry Rozier thing, I know a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't get it. I totally understand it, and I think, in a way, it's a smart move if it goes through. Now, I don't know if y'all notice this. I'm just kind of rambling now, but I just want to throw this out here. Last game against Bertans, I mean, not against Bertans. When Bertans playing, he played a little inspired. So I'm wondering, has he been hearing the rumblings also? DeMar's our guy. No way we trade him. Exactly. The Spurs are only draft and develop. And you know, you trade sometimes. They're not all just draft and develop. You make certain trades that put you in better positions in the future. Even with the Kawhi Leonard, it wasn't a waste trading away George Hill to get Kawhi, because in return it helped us get another championship, and we end up getting DeMar DeRozan. So it all worked out. And Jakob Poeltl. Spurs development system best in the league, blah blah blah. And, okay, you said Lonnie. Lonnie's a good point too, because you're probably gonna have to get rid of Lonnie. I mean, it's too much. It's too much. I understand that it's fun to talk about it. I understand that it's very interesting to see that the Spurs, or not the Spurs, but the AD asked for a trade. I know it's great. Yeah, whatever. Just know, for our San Antonio Spurs, it's not in our best interest to do so. It might be fun for headlines. It might be fun just to see the roster. It's not going to help us much. Now, what's going to help the Spurs are small tweaks here and there. It's not going to be this big free agent. Like, Spurs really need this guy. No. We are in the playoff race. I'm still predicting that we end up being second in the West. But if the Spurs want to get better, they're not going to get better by getting rid of a whole bunch of players for one, star. That's just not going to work for the Spurs. They're going to need to make small adjustments here and there. And maybe even with that Bertans thing, if you did trade away Bertans for Terry Rozier, that is a small thing. That is small. That's a small tweak you just did. It's not a huge tweak. It's not like getting rid of LaMarcus Aldridge. It's not like getting rid of DeMar DeRozan. Hell, it's not even on the level of getting rid of Patty Mills. It is a small tweak, and that's how you're going to get better if you're the San Antonio Spurs. You are not going to get better by making a huge deal, making a huge change like that. It's just not going to work. So let me see what some of you guys are saying. We should wait for free agency to make any moves. I want Clay to consider coming to San Antonio. I think that'll put us in championship contention. I think that we're in championship contention right now. We just need a few tweaks, like I said. Bertans played as if his job was at jeopardy. I said it, Sammy. I said it. I did ask, I did message them and ask today those sources. And I know you guys want to know, or a few people want to know, like, who are the sources. I can't burn sources. The only thing I can say is the initial, and it's CG. Yeah. CG is the initial. That's the only thing I can say. But I can't really burn the sources. But I tried to ask today about the Spurs. No new news. It's still the same old, that, yes, that's what they offered, and it's just pending. I guess maybe Boston Celtics are waiting to see what else they can offer. But I'll tell you right now, it doesn't, well, I hear that Anthony Davis isn't going to go to Boston, even though Boston is interested. But I also heard that Alvin Gentry doesn't even want to put out there that Anthony Davis isn't going to finish out the season. So it's still very likely that he finish out the season. So we'll just see what happens. But yeah, for the most part, but the conclusion of what I'm trying to say is, should the Spurs get AD? Hell no to the no. It is not a good, no. It is not a good call to do that. It is not a good call. You do not want to go and get rid of all these players for Anthony Davis. You don't. I know he's a great talent. I understand all that, but and fans are very timid. Fans are very I don't know the word I'm looking for, but we're very I don't know. I guess that's the word, timid. It's just let me see. We are a tier 2 contender right now. We are one Tobias Harris type player away from being one. We are. And that's why I said you thinking, Christopher, because it's one small tweak. Too many people are looking at the big picture, and it's like, no. Stop looking at the Warriors. Stop looking at the Lakers. The Lakers got all that damn talent over there, and we're still better than them. Why is that? Lakers got a lot of talent. With LeBron James on the team, the Spurs are better than them. We're 3-1 versus the Lakers. Why is that? Because we have depth, because we have higher IQ players, because we have pop, because we have we just play consistently throughout the entire game. We don't get too high, too low. These are special type of players. don't try to mess it up and try to get all these rentals, because Anthony Davis might be a rental at this point. Kawhi Leonard going off to Raptors, he ain't staying there. He's a rental. Don't try to get rentals, because you're going to end up in a terrible position. And right now, we have been so spoiled with winning for this many years that now we're at a point as fans where we see a little bit of losing and we automatically say, let's go get this guy. Okay, let's get this guy. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's get that guy. Okay, let's do... It's not going to work for the Spurs. It never has. It never will. They're not going to... Even the funny thing about it is, even the one trade that we thought would work out ended up not working out too well. I mean, yeah, we got the championship, but it didn't work out that well. When we got, we traded George Hill for Kawhi Leonard. It didn't work out. So you gotta get these guys, and you have to develop them, and you have to do it in a smart way. You cannot just hop up and get someone just because he's really good. Let me see what y'all saying. Our bench is solid for the most part. Yeah. The fans are very nervous. They want to blow up the whole team and mess everything up. Yeah, a lot of y'all don't need to be GMs. I feel like DeJounte with a jump shot will put us over the top. Yeah. I mean, it'll be nice if DeJounte could play shooting guard, hopefully. Maybe something like that. I forgot the Spurs were looking at Kristaps. Yeah. Davis over George Hill. He still won that trade. Let's see. The big markets don't know how to develop players. They rush them and place crazy expectations on them for day one. Look at Lonzo and Brandon Ingram. Good point. They really don't know how to develop players. And another thing too, when you have a big market, I think they got a lot of pressure on them. Because of the big market, because of the large amount of fans, people expect greatness quickly. So, and another thing, when you're a big market, you don't have to work as hard as a Spurs team. You can attract people to your team based on scenery almost. It's like, hey, look at the weather here. Don't you want to raise your kids here? And they were like, yeah, shit, I want to go. Hollywood's right around the corner. I can do some Hollywood movies. You know, it doesn't help our case much. Because San Antonio, don't get me wrong, San Antonio is a beautiful place, but a lot of these players are thinking about fame. They're thinking about money, their future. San Antonio, even though it's a basketball city, you're going to have some loyal fans. You're going to have a nice place to stay, but it's not going to give you a lot of media attention. You know what I mean? But we know that already. Pop undecided about coaching, going to scare off lots of free agents. Well, how Pop said it, he said it in a way where, because even when people reacted the way they reacted, he said, I don't know what you're talking about. Because I think he might have said something like his contract is up or something. He's like, well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. My contract's up. What do you guys mean you're confused by it? So, you know, that's just Pop. So I don't know what's going on with the Pop situation. But yeah, I mean, is there any more thoughts you guys have on the Anthony Davis situation? And people that's joining, I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. But basically, I'm letting you know I went live for a reason. It's because I don't have a lot of time to edit these videos like I normally do. And this news is popping out so quickly, just like this, till I would hate to edit it all in and then tonight upload it, and then they're like, this person been traded, and I'm like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? Let's see. You think with Pop undecided about coach? Wait, what? I'm confused. I don't think that really scares off free agents necessarily. I mean, we guys, we rarely get big free agents. The last big free agent we got was LaMarcus Aldridge. Wow, Blackwater, best in two. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. Here's a secret. I don't live in San Antonio. That's what people don't get. I actually don't live in San Antonio. I love San Antonio. I love the Spurs, but I'm a bigger fan than most people because I'm not from there. I'm actually not from San Antonio. I've been to San Antonio a few times, and I love it there. Like, just the Riverwalk, everything about it is amazing. I love that mall connected to the Riverwalk. I could walk in there, walk through there for days. But yeah, I'm not a native of San Antonio. I love it though. I do love San Antonio. But y'all can't drive, and none of you got insurance either. So that's kind of scary. Y'all kind of scary. Let's see. Okay, I guess that's about all the comments on here. But yeah, just to sum it up, here's my conclusion. Should the Spurs get AD? Hell no, don't get him. Won't make sense. Now, I'm trying to think, because I want to think on both ends here. And I can be, let me see, what time is it? Okay, I can be on here. I can be on here about 10 more minutes. Sure, I'll be on here 10 more minutes. Why not? Just to give my thoughts on it. I'm trying to think of the other side. What would make sense for the Spurs? Let's just think it through. The Spurs to get AD, what would make sense? Why would the Spurs want to do that? I'm trying to think here. I can't think of one. I mean, I hope that somebody can get on here and say their perspective if they want Anthony Davis. It would be really nice if you guys could do that. Just tell me why you think we should get Anthony Davis. If you can get a different argument, I'm more than like I will listen. I just right now, just in my mind, I don't see a reason for it. I just don't. Now maybe I understand if you're replacing him with LaMarcus Aldridge, but that's not going to be a straight up trade. LaMarcus Aldridge is much older, and you will probably have to get rid of another player. I don't see it. I just don't see it. Let me see what some of you guys are saying. Who would take the reins of head coach after Pop? I'll talk about that in a minute. Respect, because you're a bigger fan than most people from Texas. Oh, hell yeah. I think developing our young guys to really good players is the way to go. Our players fit our system in a particular way. The teamwork aspect is what makes us work. Yeah, of course. It's our way of winning. Of course. I mean, that's why I was saying it's the depth. It's all about the depth. I said, you ain't lying. Hell yeah, he ain't lying. Destin is destined for greatness. Hey, funny thing about it, that's why my mama called me Destin, or my parents called me Destin, because she said I was destined for success. The only reason to go after him is maybe he could attract free agents to join him and Pop, but that's a stretch. You're right. That's a stretch. That's a good perspective. It's a stretch. It's a stretch. That doesn't happen. In San Antonio, that doesn't happen. It's going to take more. How players are nowadays, hold on to guys like DeMar DeRozan, because Kawhi didn't even have a reason for leaving, and he left. Guys, to attract guys into their team, the only guy I can see do it successfully over and over is LeBron. Not many other teams can just do that, or a lot of players can just do that. DeRozan, Davis, Walker, and picks. That's too much. He could be like Duncan for us. I don't want him though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand what you're saying. You're saying he could be Duncan for us. But yeah, like you said, you don't want him. Yeah, he can't. He's not going to be Duncan. Duncan was a special type of player, and not only that, who did Duncan really attract to the Spurs? I mean, there was a few signings we had along the way, but what major superstar did Duncan give us? You think that's enough? You say you would trade LA, DeJounte, and 2 picks for Anthony Davis. Hold on, give me a second. Gotta spit something out. Ugh, nasty. You think that's enough? You think that's hold on. Let me. Okay, I can explain to you why that's not enough. Number one, there's going to be a team out there that offers way more. I mean, one in particular, Lakers. I mean, you can give them Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, and Kuzma probably. They're probably willing to do that. Now with us, you said LA. He's an aging superstar. Dejounte's injured, and they're not gonna know how he comes back, if he comes back healthy or not. 2 picks is nice, but I have a hard time believing that another team wouldn't be able to offer 2 picks, if not higher picks than what we're gonna have. So I don't know, man. I mean, even the Raptors pick we have, I mean, it's top 20, but it's gonna be probably late teens. Powell, Rudy, Bryn, couple first round. See, y'all trying to get rid of the minimal. That's not gonna work. See, you trying to get rid of the minimum, because when you say Powell, it's like, okay, we can get rid of Powell. That's gonna be okay. Rudy, yeah, Anthony Davis can make up for Rudy. Brent Forbes, if we keep Davis Bertans, he can make up for Brent. Y'all, a couple first round. No, they're not gonna take that. They're not gonna take that. They will be getting 2 aging players. Brent Forbes, who's more than likely more valuable to the Spurs than somewhere else. And, like I said, with a couple first rounders, any team could probably offer first round picks. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but it doesn't make sense. The only trade that made sense in my head for us getting rid of Pau Gasol would be if we did some trade with Memphis. I'm from Memphis, and I keep an eye on Memphis basketball as well. And it would make sense only from the aspect of the Memphis Grizzlies are trying to rebuild. You get somebody like Pau Gasol that's worked with Kyle Anderson, and now you can even market it in a way where saying Pau Gasol is back to Memphis. Hey guys, just welcome Pau Gasol back. You can spin it all kind of ways and try to keep butts in those seats while you try to rebuild. That's the only thing that makes sense with getting rid of Pau. I don't see anything else. It's just stupid to waste everything for one guy that might not fit in. Exactly. What's your opinion on Davis? My opinion on Davis? This is fun. I'm liking this. It's like a Q&A now. I'm sure plenty of people are going to tune out after like 20 minutes because we haven't talked about Anthony Davis for like 7 minutes. Okay. Davis, what do you mean by my thoughts on him? I think he's a great player. I think Davis Bertans is not great player, but I think Davis Bertans is an excellent scorer. I think he got heart. I think he's pretty clutch. I think that he gives ultimate effort every single night. The only thing about Davis is things that's out of his control, like his athleticism. I don't think he's very athletic, even though he can get up there and dunk sometimes, but he's not consistently showing his athleticism. What else about Davis I like? I think his limitations isn't necessarily him. I think that in his mind he's great. I think that when he shoots with confidence. I think that he tries his best on defense. The only thing about Davis that's a negative is things that's out of his control. Like I said, his weight, he's kind of skinny, but I mean he has to kind of be that way because he's kind of like between small forward and power forward kind of deal. He's kind of a stretch, kind of not. So yeah, Davis is awesome. Davis is an awesome player. If we keep him, I'm cool with it. If they trade him for Terry Rozier, I'm cool with that too. I just want us to get better. I don't think getting Terry Rozier really makes us worse. I think it makes us a little better. Does this kill Rozier trade with Boston wanting to keep assets? Possibly, because I'm looking at because when I see that Anthony Davis thing, and if Boston is interested, I don't know how that will work. I don't know how I feel about that, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna keep messaging them, seeing if I can get any more information. If I get any big information or anything that I can report back to you guys, I will. But I will say that I feel, this is just my gut, I feel as if Davis Bertans, the way he played yesterday and how hard he played, I think he was trying to prove something, and I think it did have to do with those little rumors. One on Spurs GM DM and ask if he want to be there. Ask cool. I'm sorry, I missed it. We could clear up some cap space. Who do you think we should chase in free agency? Yeah, I think we're in such good shape right now. I don't really want to chase anybody. Um, Somebody driving behind me. Oh, I guess he was driving behind me. Yeah. Um, I wouldn't want to chase anybody. I think that the Spurs just need small critiques. That's it. Um, would Jimmy Butler be a better fit for the Spurs? Let me say this. Everybody said Jimmy Butler was going to be great with the Sixers. Everybody said Jimmy Butler is going to be great here. Jimmy Butler is going to be great there. Jimmy Butler is going to, we're going to have their own superstar team, super team with the Timberwolves. Maybe we just need to come to the reality that Butler with the Spurs, he would do fine. Don't get me wrong. He would do fine. And that's merely because of Pop. But I think that the value of Butler and what pedestal people put Butler on, it might be a little unfair. It might be a little too high than what he actually is. He's not an A superstar. He's like a B minus superstar. And I think that because of his heart and because of his clutchness, I think we put him on a pedestal where it's like, oh my God, he's a huge free agent or he's a huge trade or stuff like that. If you're on a team that's not that great, I don't feel like Butler's going to put you over the edge. Maybe with the Spurs, if he was with the Spurs, he would help us tremendously for many reasons. But it won't be mostly because of him. It's going to be a mixture of things why we're successful. So, yeah, with Jimmy Butler, he makes you better, but he doesn't make you from playoff contender to championship contender necessarily. If the Spurs are going to be championship contenders, we're just going to be championship contenders, and he makes it a little easier for us. If that made sense. Okay. Could we get CJ McCollum from the Blazers? They might want quite a bit for CJ McCollum. I think they value him pretty high. I think he needs to be in a situation where the players and organizations has more discipline. For sure. But then again, it's when it comes to Jimmy Butler, there's only so many times we can say he needs this, he needs to go here, he needs to go there, he needs to go. In my mind, I feel like Jimmy Butler maybe is just, I'm not saying he isn't good, but he doesn't help organizations get to the next level because he's not that. He has the mindset of a Kobe, he has the mindset of a Jordan, he has a mindset of a Ginobili, he has a mindset of a Tim Duncan, but he doesn't have the straight up ability to score like those guys could score. He just don't really have it. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with him. He's a great piece to any team. He has that type of mindset, and a lot of times he break teams up because he come at players a certain way that's more talented than him. And the thing about Michael Jordan, where Michael Jordan could go to any teammate on his team and say, yo, do better, yo, play better, it's because he was the best on the team. Okay. I just got a notification that the Kyrie Irving, Lakers, and Knicks are more likely to sign Kyrie. Or no, did it say Kyrie? I don't know. I have to look at it later. But yeah, and Kobe Bryant, he was the best player on his team. Tim Duncan, best player on his team. Manu Ginobili, on occasions, best player on his team. But these type of guys can go at players and say, play better, do better, because they're the best. Jimmy Butler hasn't been on a team yet where he's the best player on the team, where he can come at people certain ways. He just can't. He's just not the best on the team. Even where he went with Timberwolves, he wasn't the best. Everyone knows that Karl Anthony Towns probably got the most God-given ability on the team. Butler doesn't have that type of ability. And now he's with the Sixers, where the Sixers look like they're kind of, on, off. But Joel Embiid is the guy on that team. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Spurs had great defense in December. Now in January, the offense is clicking. Spurs just need to the two together, or put the two together. I'm sure that's what you meant. AD LA bound Clutch Sports. I don't know. Oh, okay. AD is LA bound. That's what you said. How much money did LeBron sign with the Lakers for? Oh, I don't know. A lot. I know it was like a 5-year contract. Manu is a god. Yes, he is. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna go ahead and head off. I think I'm gonna go ahead and head off. I talked for a good 35 minutes. Woo! It's a long video, but at least the first 20 minutes we talked straight up AD. Should we get AD? We talked for a good amount about that. And my answer was hell no. But if you could, please subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Clan, the Spurs fan. Subscribe right below. Please, please, please give it a like. I really appreciate it. Tell your friends about it. Tell other Spurs fans, especially if you're in San Antonio. Tell your friends, hey, there's a dude on YouTube. He talks nothing but Spurs basketball. Please go subscribe to him. Please do that. And also, you can go to my Instagram, Spurs Wave, and follow me on there. We can talk Spurs. I post in there all day, so we can talk Spurs basketball on there. Just DM me and I'll talk. But yeah, until next time, Spurs Knights.